Morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through live order flow. That is our goal, is to understand the order flow. Why? Because order flow shows the participants' behavior. That's the only way that participants can behavior. That participants can interact with the market is with their orders. That's why we want to understand the flow, and that will give us to or lead us to an edge. Some news items here. We have 3 onboarding webinars scheduled every week. So no matter where you are around the globe, you should be able to come and meet us. And if you're having trouble onboarding, getting up and running with Bookmap, registering, adding a data feed, adding a symbol, all of that good stuff we will go through in a very short, concise webinar here. Dan at 8 a.m. On East Coast time on Mondays, Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Brandon, and then 1 p.m. later today, I'll do the onboarding webinar. Also, our calling all trading companions here. As I had mentioned before, we've now run this desktop Bookmap desk competition through social media. It was using Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. And all you have to do is just take a screenshot of your desk and then put in the hashtag Bookmap desk. But that was a few months ago. We had some submissions that were with their pets. They were very popular, and we thought we'd do one here, show your trading companion. And just do the same thing, but it doesn't have to be the same desk that you used before. It could be anything. You could be just a laptop and you're out walking your dog, whatever it might be. So then just take a photo, upload it to social media with hashtag Bookmap Pets. You're involved, you're good to go, and have fun with it. All right. So also Bruce's pilot program. So we had the Bookmap Academy meeting last night. About this pilot program, this has been a real hit here so far. A lot of people really like it. I think we really have something special here that is really helping people out build a trading edge. It's a missing piece of the puzzle. I've seen it after talking to so many different traders around the globe for many years. The one main thing people are missing is an edge. So they can go from setup to setup and understand all their setups. However, they need to study that one setup. They need a process of how to build an edge with that setup. This pilot program will do that for you. If you're interested, I'll send you the link here, and you can sign up. We have a web page here that is just a moment here, and I will put it into the chat. Okay. Yep. Here you go. All right, and over here in Discord as well. Okay. Looks like Aloise beat me to it. Excellent. Thank you. Anyway, give it a try. There's no cost to it. It is included with your Bookmap Global or Global Plus subscription. So why not? We will provide all the replay files so that you can build reps, build strength, build confidence. You can use replay mode in sped up, fast mode, so that you can really build those reps very, very quickly. All right. Anyway, our journaling process that is part of the pilot program, as I was saying earlier, I was alluding to the pilot program is a subsector of the Bookmap Academy. And it's, like I said, it's been very popular, but it is within the Bookmap Academy. So if you're interested in the Academy, we cover anything in there using journaling and building out your playbook. And this is the process we go through for your journaling: the impetus, what's moving the market, your key levels on the higher time frames, the scenarios and strategies you'll develop based on the impetus and key levels, and then finally your setup, your checklist. You should know it by heart. You should be able to grade it. You should be able to determine how much risk and sizing you want to put on. And then you look at the order flow. And this is the trigger here that will get you into the trade, your management and your execution and your management for your trade. All right, so we're going to go through that process right now as well. Let me go through the disclosures. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in. We're going to take a look at the S&P E-mini. I think what I'm going to do here is, I've got quite a bit of data in here, historical data, I just want to cover the last few days in here. Now, you can see the sessions with the futures in here very, very quickly and easily. See the volume spikes in here and the volume spikes in here. Okay, these are the cash sessions. You can see where all that liquidity and volume drops off in here. That is the overnight and pre-market session. Okay, so that's what we're seeing in here as well. Yesterday up to all-time highs and breaking out on some news, and we had the CPI and the real big speculation in here is the interest rate decision next week. Okay, so the CPI data, it was kind of in line. Okay, we had weekly unemployment claims a little bit higher. Anyway, the news is kind of ho-hum from the data. And in fact, we had the PPI earlier, and that was actually, pretty bad. That was on Wednesday. And the market went up. Did it go up here? This was, let's see here. Hold on just a second. Okay, the 10th here. No, it went down on Wednesday. And then you can see we broke out of that here on some pretty strong volume at the open here. This is a very, very strong move here to the upside. Anyway, so my question is about, you always hear about, you buy the rumor, sell the news. So this move here is already kind of baked in that we're going to have an interest rate cut next week. So if it doesn't happen, the market is going to be pretty upset. And I think Powell is going to do it. No question. He's been under a lot of pressure to do this as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the rate cut. I would be surprised not to see it. But there's still inflationary elements out there. So Powell's in a hard place. What we're doing here is just trying to understand what's moving the markets here, and putting those pieces together. The impetus. Typically, it revolves around the news and the data. The economic data, and then it's traders' reactions to that that we want to understand. All right, when you boil it all down, it's always about the trader's reaction to it, no matter what it is. That's why order flow rules. It really is the top of the pyramid, and everything down below it as well. But you always hear about the fundamentals. It is important. It is the driver of the market. The mechanics behind all of that, though, is the order flow. Anyway, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the, we can see the overnight session here in the move down, and then the overnight high here that we just tested above and then have floated back into the range here. Okay, we have 6,600 up here. That would be the all-time highs, and we have quite a bit of liquidity up there. Okay, so we've never traded up there. You can see some news up in here, but that's just at when the market opened here in the pre-market. Okay, but nothing traded up there. Anyway, all right. So key levels, right? Well, pretty easy to see the high over all-time highs here and the overnight high here, as well as the overnight low, and some of these other areas from yesterday's swings. Okay, we can also kind of put a diagonal line on here and start to understand maybe what's going on with the trend. All right, see if there's any questions. $300 basis points. Wow. Okay. No, I think 25 is, or a quarter is baked in already. I just read this morning, what is it? They're thinking maybe another cut this year. So, within the next 3 months, another cut. And I think that's probable. So the market's reacting to that as well. All right. Now, another thing that we know, I mean, the data has not been all that great, like I said, and I think this is a reaction. This move is a reaction to the interest rate decision that will be made next week. Okay. So what am I getting at here is we've been talking about this for many months now. We come up to these highs up in here and we don't find buyers, not many buyers up above in breaking out to new highs. We fade back in. This is where we find the buyers here on the dips. Okay, now this is the daily chart over here on the candlestick. And then we find, people buying the dips, comes back up, makes all-time highs, and then it kind of floats around a little bit. It kind of comes back in. So it's almost like, you want to see it break to all-time highs, but fade it back into the range. I mean, we've seen that so many times. In fact, let's put up a weekly here. That doesn't really help too much. But anyway, these moves, up in here, and then you can see a lot of volatility and this big sell-off, some weeks ago, and then that's where people started to buy and bring it right back up. Okay, so let's just keep this in mind. This is the environment that we've been witnessing over and over again. So up at these all-time highs, let's see if we get there again today. But we're looking for maybe some profit taking and some weakness up there. Okay, no one's really interested in taking it further than all-time highs. So let's just keep that in mind, and we'll see if we'll just read the order flow and some of the levels in here. Okay. All right. Yeah, so 2.9% inflation would be too high for a rate cut. It's political though, and I don't know, Alois. It's a good question. Back in 2018, I think Powell felt the pressure and also had a rate cut, which really kind of screwed things up. That led to some inflation, a lot of inflation. Okay, and then compounded with overdoing it for COVID response as well. That's the main bulk of it from Biden, and it led to high inflation, which was pretty much under control. At the beginning of the year. Anyway, now we're starting to see unemployment pick up. Our jobs reports aren't as good, and the data and costs are going up. So we're starting to see inflation come back in. Okay, I think it's just due very plainly to tariffs, so it's a very weird environment, fundamentally in that sense, and it's political too. So anyway, so here's the move up to or the highs for the cash, and then you can see the fade. Okay, so now let's just take that forward and take a look at this in here, and then we know some of our key levels. And now some of the scenarios in here. Now that's quite a bit of selling. Okay, we're getting a pullback now. Okay, we have a you can see a little small node there, low volume. We're through it and already coming back up. Okay, now question is, was this low enough in here to buy the dips? I don't think so. I'm not. We may see a lot of buying come back in, but I don't see a lot of buyers on the bid here. They're down lower. This is just aggressors, and the move back up is aggressors too. Okay, so I would actually look for trading into some of this liquidity in here, and then seeing aggressive sellers come back in here, maybe around in this area here, and then we'll get the next move down into this 84 or 85 liquidity. Okay, that would be the primary scenario that I'd be looking for in this time frame. Okay, all right, so let's go back into this here. Did we go through our impetus? Yes. Did we go through some higher time frame key levels? Kind of mildly, and then we did come up with some scenarios in here, and then we choose the setup. Okay, like yesterday was would be a breakout, breakout of range type of setup, or continuation trades that you'd be looking for. Today I think it's going to be a lot choppier than that. Okay, we had the big move yesterday, and then let's just zoom out again here. Okay, and you can see all the chop here. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. I do not see that selling at this point. What I took kind of a break from the demo trading in the room, to be honest, it's been pretty nice this week not to get in positions. Now, the only reason that, like I've mentioned many times, that we do that is to show the trade management. It's not a trade calling room. It's not a trade recommendation. It might not even be a setup, but it's to understand some of the concepts, and then trade management may be behind it. All right. So the one thing that I enjoy doing that, I think it's very helpful for a lot of people, is to see like, okay, that in theory it might be good, but let's see it in reality. And then where would the entry be, and how would you manage it? One thing that I noticed this week, and we've said it before, is it really frees us up, though, to be flexible in terms of the education. Okay, instead of being stuck in a position. And if it does or work out or not work out, maybe we go back to another area, we look at something and cover something that might be really valuable for you in your trading in the future. Okay, some sort of order flow insight or something. So I think maybe hold off again today, and let's just see how things go here. Okay, so we are not seeing any of that. We said that this is quite a bit of selling. It is. Okay? It's countered by a lot of buying coming right back up. Okay, now this is I'm really not seeing any sort of position or any kind of stake in it yet. In fact, I'm seeing more liquidity filled here on the offer, again on the offer, and then look at this pocket in here. Now some of it pulled in here, but they're still here on the offer at a lower level in here. Okay, so and buyers are trading into it, so the transactions are taking place. Okay, up into here. All right, now as we had discussed about the scenarios and the higher time frame key levels. Okay, so is this something? Are we looking for this to break out today? I don't know. I would say no. I would say this is going to be a choppy day. This would be we'd be looking to fade this back into the range and trade it back down to maybe this 89 swing here, or maybe even down to 85. Okay. Now, that said, is this like let's look at the volume in this one here, the transactions, okay, the dots and the bars, and then also on the move up as well. Okay, they're pretty equal. I mean, I would say there's more selling than buying, but you know, you can see both sides here. So this is really not telling us much. Let's see, Shark, you got a question. Good morning, Amir. Is it possible to copy order lines and fills from the original instrument into instrument copy? No, I don't think it does that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't do that. So we can test it here. So let's up instrument copy. I've already got it. Okay. Good morning, Laura. Hey, good morning, Stephen. No, it doesn't do it. It's weird. Getting some weird data in here actually on this as well. I don't think it will actually. Let's keep this. Actually, we can try it. We can test it here and see if. So I made an instrument copied the ES here, and then if we do get into a position, okay, let's just test this quickly. Okay. All right, I'm going to see if we get maybe a mild pullback here. So that it's really not enough aggressive selling in here, but I'm going to go for it nonetheless. We'll see if this we get a move back down into the range here. All right, so let's go over to instrument copy now. Yeah, in fact, it won't even work here for this demo. I think it will say that I'm already in the demo. Yeah. So yeah, it does not work. All right. It's going to flatten that. Yeah, it gets a little tricky, Stephen, to be very honest on all of that, because very, very tricky due to the multi-account add-on that we made. Okay, so oh, here they come. All right, so this was just a little pullback in here, and here come the aggressors now. Now again, this again looks all to me like aggressors. There's some liquidity that just got filled in here. Not a whole lot, but to me this is okay. This isn't bad up here. There were some in here that we'd mentioned, mostly getting filled on the offer here, even at lower levels in here. Not really seeing much on the bid at all, just this little bit right here. Okay, so again, this is pretty choppy environment, but I would be looking for a move back into the range here. I still like this kind of 89 and this 85 down here. All right, it's yeah, I don't think we're gonna get too much out of today, to be honest. Looks like chop, James. Yep. Um, so you know what? We'll see if we get a big change in volume or something, and you know, probably end of the day here, by the end of the day, or maybe even in this session, we'll see a test up into 6,600. I would imagine that's going to unfold, but I just don't see it yet. Okay, really, it's only 5 points away, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, there's something I was trying to kind of sidetracked or distracted from that I wanted to cover during the Monday and Tuesday sessions was about different time frames and what time frame are you trading on, and what are you looking for and what your expectations are. Now, from the Bookmap Academy meeting last night, we actually had a pretty good discussion, I thought, about that with Greeny. Greeny came on and he was, I don't know if Greeny's in here today or not. No, I don't think so. But you know, put this in line with your expectations. It's a really simple concept. In fact, that's why for many years I was just kind of scalping in here because of the time frame, and instead of looking for longer or bigger moves, because bigger moves we know there's going to be pullbacks. A scalp, you're looking for it to either work or it doesn't. And a bigger move, though, you're going to get some pullback. Let's suppose you're looking for a breakout, for example. Well, massive pullback, move right back up. Okay, is this going to be a cup and handle type of pattern? It's another pullback here. What if we get? You'd be looking for your buyers up here now for a breakout up here. Okay, we might get it. We don't know, but this is a lot more complex to take a look at and understand. And then there's a lot more time that you have to wait for that to unfold. Whereas like if you're looking for a test of like, down to a range in here, that's it. And that is your setup, or on the fractal that you are trading, then that's it. You get out. You don't look for more. You are not looking to hold for a runner necessarily. You are looking for this to achieve your objective, and then you get out. Okay, and then you move on to the next one. Okay, so whatever time frame that you are trading on, keep that in mind. Okay, so it's a big question. Let's take a look here, for example, and try to find a trade within a trade here. Yeah, okay. Well, easy one would be just range, and okay, so we have a range here. This is not bad, right? In fact, I'm going to use, hold on, use the channel tool. And edit that. and you hold down the shift key to make it horizontal here. Okay, and then just right click on it, and then you can extend it to the right here. Okay, so there's our channel. Now we kind of broke out from it here multiple times. It was unsustained. Okay, but this is getting interesting here. So is this, it's kind of testing this range in here, and to see if it can break out. Okay, so it's kind of established another range in here, something like this. Okay, from the cash session. So 9:30, 9:30 is over here. Anyway, so now let's take a look at this here. All right, so here we go. All right, now this is not going to be so much of a range trade. This would be a breakout trade. Okay, because we're testing above it. Okay, we see that selling coming in, but we've been holding up here. Okay, right in here is where we're looking for our buyers then. Okay, and we're looking for the breakout here. So the buying mounts in here. Let's see it, and let's see if they can not only trade up to 95 here. I would look for a quick straight move up to 95, maybe a pullback or a little bit of chop then before we get back up to 6,600. If that is the move, okay. Now that move we'd be looking for those big green dots in here, okay, and then probably a little bit of chop, like I said, and then maybe a little bit of back and forth before the next big move up to 66. And that's a scenario now. We don't know, okay, but that's what we'd be looking for. Okay, and I don't see that scenario unfolding yet. Right. Okay, so now if this in this range here, so there's a range within a range here. So that scenario hasn't unfolded of a breakout here. Okay, so then if we get selling down here, you'd look for the move right down to the bottom of the range here. Okay, now we want to also target the liquidity in that area, and I don't see much. Okay, they're down a little lower here, down here around 89 and 89 and a half. Okay, so but this would be the range within a range trade. You'd be looking for these sellers in here to drop it down to 90 or 91, let's call it. Okay, your stop would go back up above the swing up here, and if you see that big buying dot come back in, you can just even get out, because yeah, okay, you don't want to be scared out of something. However, the breakout trade could be looming. Okay, we talked about why, because of the movement, acceptance, and transactions above this overnight range. Okay, but the setup in here is looking for these sellers in here to move it back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, and boy, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I don't like this. Edit the color here, and we'll just make it transparent for now. Okay. Should do it. Okay, there. All right. Boy, it's pretty. I mean, see how we're not just getting much direction in here at all right now. Market's just kind of floating around in here, transacting, and you know, we look for a fade in here down to the bottom of this range in here. We found some sellers in here. That's about it. All right, well, the best bid went into 91, but we did not trade at 91. Okay, and we found a few buyers. Take it back. Nothing really, again, nothing really shaking in here. I think we're gonna have to, we might even have to go in on a lower time frame in here to look for some of these ideas. Okay, in the order flow. One of the things that this behavior in here by the sellers, you know, the selling did come in. Okay, we're kind of looking for it, you know, back down into this 90 and 3/4, 91, and look at the way that it did it, though. It took a while, and look at you know, the selling's not bad, but the way that it did it here was with a very kind of low angle here. Okay, so and then we got buyers sweeping it back up pretty quickly. Repeat. I'm not sure I quite follow here, so no one has ever has a plan other than trading breaks or NQ. Nice. Okay, so you got it. Sounds like you got a nice overnight strategy there. All right. Well, so you can see this range bound trade. Well, it didn't quite get down to our the bottom of the range in here. I thought it would. We got a little bit of buying that took it right back up. Okay, and then sellers took it right back down again here. Okay, so it's still within this range. It's just kind of sloppy in here, but this is the range. Okay, now watch what happens. Now we're getting ready here. Okay, now we don't really have a direction. to kind of key off of in here. So we might get a break above the range and then a move back down and a break below the range as well. Okay, now we're just going through scenarios in here. Now, if this was a trend up, a strong trend up, and then we see a small range like this, and then the break above the range here, I would look for a continuation. Right now, in this case in here, I mean, this is looking really good to trade back down into this area in here. Okay, anyone that bought in this little range in here is going to be stopped out, but still will still stay within the range most likely. Okay, and if that is the move you're looking for, that's where we went or started from with this discussion of covering that this idea, okay, of ranges within ranges here. You see this move all the time. In fact, this is what is likely going to happen, is you'll get like a measured move right down into here, and that will happen on quick volume, and then it chops around in here for a while before it maybe breaks again and comes right back up into this previous range. Nice, Pete. It's great. Sounds like you found a really nice strategy or nice play for yourself. That's excellent. Real happy for you. All right. Well, anyway, let's see what we get here. And due to the chop in here, let's go through a scenario of potential here. Another scenario in here. The main scenario is to see a break and then trade back down here, okay, and maybe down to this range and bottom of the range in here before we find buyers. Okay, that would be the main scenario that I'd be looking for. Okay, the other scenario is basically the exact same thing but to the upside. Okay, and then that would most likely hit the target up here at 6,600. Okay, that would be the break. Now, what happens within these ranges in here, and who are the players involved right now? Okay, this is a lot of chop in here. So I don't see any big stop runs or icebergs. Okay, it is just coiled up within this little range in here. Okay, now watch what happens. We don't know what side it's going to break to. Okay, but I imagine we'll probably get a false breakout and a move back in and then a move to the other side. Either way in here. This is how we can generate or how the market can generate and trigger stops, which means it's going to be triggering maybe stop runs or swings. Okay, so we would look for that. The market's just kind of floating around in here. So you get that exploration outside, stops everybody out from this range that was long, and then it comes right back in, and then those that were short in here will come to the other side of the range and hit that one. Okay, now, let's just suppose there's no ill practices in here. No one's trying to manipulate the market. There's no stop run. No one's trying to push the stops. There's no market maker boogeyman or whatever it might be. Okay, that's a legitimate idea that will come up here, and anyone that's in here that is short is going to feel the pain. They will cover. We'll get a run to the upside. If we don't get new buyers coming in, it will fade, come back down, and probably trade right back down into the middle of the range. Right? So we're going to take any of that market manipulation or that concept off the table. Okay. Now in crypto, I mean, it's funny I mention it in crypto, but you see it all the time. The market just bashes around. You see it in all markets. Okay, I think these are the most transparent markets of all. Are these markets from the futures and the CME? Okay, so here we go now. Let's see. Okay. Now we may just get all sorts of people on board in here, and maybe we trade right up here and break out and keep on going to the upside. Okay, but I would imagine that what we've been covering in here, we're going to see a breakout. We're going to see a nice move into some of the high liquidity in here, and then it'll fade back in, and then maybe to the other side of the range. So one of the setups, I didn't cover it. I wanted to cover it in the supply and demand course on the Learning Center. I really wanted to cover the, well, I did cover some of it. Here, just show it here. The false breakout on one of the flags, okay, down here. Flag pattern with failed breakout. Okay, because this is what we're talking about. Is
flag patterns are great.
Basically the same thing. Is that little bump above? Okay, the trend is down. Okay, you see this kind of flagging pattern here, and then you get the break to the upside, and then it fails and comes back in, and then now you've got a lot of buyers in this whole area thinking that they've got a reversal. In fact, it even looks like it. Shoulder, head, shoulder, breakout. Okay, this is kind of very similar to the mid-morning reversal here as well. Okay, and then you get the slingshot here by the anyone buying in here is going to be selling, and then you get the trend continuation move. Okay, now here we go. Here's the breakout that we're looking for. We did not get that kind of slingshot in here at all. Maybe this little dip in here, and I see buyers down here. I don't see any sellers. I don't see a stop run. Okay, so I would look for a fade most likely. Is this high liquidity trading up here? Yeah, looks like it's transacting right into it. Okay, now the question is, now we see nice stop run. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we were anticipating that. Right. However, I don't see a whole lot of sellers in here. Maybe just these sellers in here, getting out. Okay, I want to see it really clean out an area, and I want to see sellers down below in here, and then really push up, and then get that trend continuation. If there's a trend continuation, we have a bullish, slightly bullish outlook here, just because of we mentioned it, this area up in here. Okay, now we're getting the volume up in there. Okay, so let's see if we get this continuation or not. And you can kind of see what I'm alluding to here is a lot of what we talked about in the trend line break and accumulation setup as well. Okay, that if we don't have that passive accumulation in here, it's only aggressors in here, right? The passive accumulation is actually over here on the offer. Okay, we would look for this fade back in. Okay, because it's only aggressors here that are moving it. We're not leaning on any of that passive absorption in here, in these areas in here. Okay, so now we got our breakout, which we were looking for, and we've got the move right back into the range, which we were looking for as well. Okay, now let's see. Now I'd like to see this clean out to the downside, okay, and come back down below this 91.5 here. I would love to see it sell off pretty hard, maybe even down to this liquidity here in this swing 89, and then we'll see if we get our buyers, and then come right back up here and then break out to 6600. Okay, so anyway, we've seen it so many times, and what I was alluding to, and that's why I came up with I put it into the supply and demand course in here. Okay, that failed breakout. Okay, question is, okay, what can we lean on in here for? If this was the pullback, okay, what are we leaning on in here? we'd have to lean on this liquidity getting filled in here. Okay, we do see a stop run. We do see liquidity getting filled in there. Okay, now, the other part of the equation now is the aggressive buyers. Okay, is this making sense to you guys? Like the trend line break and accumulation trade it's very similar to this idea. You can draw your super aggressive fractal trend line, something like this, but is the accumulation after this move in here into that liquidity. Okay, so now it's the same concepts though, and then this is your structure break in here. This is where you look for the buyers, and then you'd look for the move up into top of the range in here. Okay, and then that would be it. That would be it. That you would have achieved your goal. You would have hit your single. You're only looking for that in this move here. Okay, is this enough? Was this enough here? I don't know. I mean, we got to find quite a few buyers engaged in here. It might be enough, but now we're not leaning on much here. We're leaning on the aggressors in here. They've got to move it. Okay, so that's why I really wanted to go over in the pilot program. The beginning will initiate with the understanding this transition from passive to aggressive accumulation. All right. Thank you, Trading is Life. A lot of jawboning today, this morning, and just trying to connect all the pieces here, all the dots, so that this does make sense. Okay. The same concepts, they just repeat again and again and again. And now, again, this is all aggressors in here. Okay, I mean, they're getting a little bit of push underneath here. Okay, so likely 6,600 will be achieved here. Okay, well, went up, and we're getting a bit of a pullback now. Okay, just into this area here. Okay, and this would be your continuation. You'd look for, again, buyers right here at this 97 3/4. Okay, do we get them? Okay, what kind of order flow event do we get in here? Not much. Let's see a swing down. Let's see if we get that, and then a move back up, just like we were talking about here. Okay, now this move here, and this is how you get your flag pattern, in fact. This move here, we're looking for a bigger pullback, back down into these areas in here. I wanted to see a lot more liquidity get filled on the bid on the way down, and all we did was get a move back into the range in here. It broke out, pulled back, and then we got a breakout again, and found enough aggressors, and you can see that also, pretty big stop run in here on the way up, and we were anticipating that stop run. So now we need to see if there's more aggressive buyers willing to come in. If not, we got to get more people off sides. We got to get more people selling, so that they can get upside down and then fuel the buying to the upside. So maybe right here, maybe we were looking for it over here at 98. Okay, now we're looking at it around this 97 and a quarter. Okay, now what ideally we'd love to see all of this filled down here, all that liquidity down here filled, and then what we want to see is it reject, come back up, and then get those aggressive buyers up here. Okay, and that's where you get your other flag trend line break here. Yeah, it's starting to kind of unfold. I don't like it. I want to lean on this in here, and I want to see that easy move unfold to the top of the range, or first level of liquidity. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna open up a Bitcoin in here. I think it might show what I'm talking about a lot better. Guys, I mean, this kind of chop in here is, I mean, it's breaking out, right? But it's mostly aggressors in here, right? That's why we go over that passive accumulation. It's pretty important stuff. Okay, without it, it's just all aggressors that they kind of just lose steam and kind of exhaust out, and then it comes right back, and back into the range, other side of the range, and then back into the range, and the other side again. And that's how you get these like choppy, very rotational markets that can be very frustrating. Right? Now, if you're looking for that kind of activity, it can also be really great, like 2 or 3 or 4 trades in the range, or back from one range side to the other, can be very profitable. Yeah, see how the aggressors in here, it just kind of faded away. Okay, now these guys are on the hook. So now we should see a stop run up into 99. Okay, because look at stops in here. Nothing, very little. So this whole little range in here, after this one in here, like where's the balance of all of this? Is it buy side? Is it sell side? In fact, we can take a look at that and put it into the chart range profile here. Use this tool, and let's very precisely look at it. All right, and then we can put on the delta here in this column. Okay, here are your sellers here. Okay, so that would be, these would be your buyers up in here. Your sellers here would be your buyers up here, and vice versa. These buyers up here will be the sellers back down here. Okay, so, and kind of identifying on balance in here. I see more selling. Okay, so that can add to the fuel that move here, and it would be a quick move. Anyway, in the end, what we're looking for is where others are compelled to trade, and that's a lot easier to understand than or look for it to press into those areas, than trying to understand a setup or something. It's like, just understand where people are going to react, okay, and then go through the scenario. Okay, so again, back down to the bottom of the range in here. Is that enough? I don't see a lot. I would love to see this kind of flush through, get everyone kind of wiped out, and then trickle back up, and then get new buyers to take it higher. Okay, there's a little tiny stop run there. Makes sense. I want to see a bigger one. I mean, this one's a beauty here. There we go. There it is. Okay. All right. So now we're below our range. Okay. We have our stop run. How about the liquidity? A little bit. Be better if it came down to this 93 3/4. Maybe 94 3/4. Let's see how they react here. Okay, now the scenario we've been talking about is back up above this selling in here. Okay, so up here around this 96.5. You guys are pretty quiet today. Well, no questions. James, sorry guys, over in YouTube. James, any videos on longer time frame moves? Yeah, there are. It's more like kind of from these sessions, or we'll say like, oh, we saw like a a longer time frame move start to unfold, etc. Okay, so now look at the move now. Okay, it really and look at the stops now. Okay, so actually this played out quite nicely here, and now a lot of people are stopped out. Now let's see if we get our buyers interested in here. Okay, so I would say this can still go lower here. I mean, we'd still look for, this would be our false breakout here. All of this in here. Okay, so we can get a nice move all the way back down to 87 or 85 now. And then we'll see if we can come back up to 66. Okay, now again, this is a choppy day in here. So that's why we can start to look for some of these things. If it's a trending day, like yesterday, you'd get run over. Okay, let's see if we can get just I would look for a retracement right around now, probably back up to about here. Okay, there's a little bit of a jag here and a swing and some liquidity there. Okay, is it low enough now for buyers to engage? Okay, after all these people get stopped out here. Okay. Anyway, in the end, we're looking at our levels, and we're looking at the order flow behavior at those levels. Listening and learning, trading is life. Trading is life. What is there some sort of like burning question? Then do you have like what is it that you would like to see answered or more of? To help with clarity here. Or anyone. It's not just trading is life, but anyone in here. But you see how like you can start to formulate plans You're good now. Okay. You can start to formulate plans and scenarios and strategies or setups once you start to look for and anticipate this kind of behavior. Okay, but we have to know the environment. It just puts it much more on our side if we know the environment. Okay, now let's just zoom out here a bit. This is a different environment yesterday. I mean, it's just totally different, right? In fact, big move up and then the chop up in here. Okay, and here it's been just and pretty choppy. It kind of after a big move, and the market needs to kind of consolidate and build up some steam, some trades, etc. Okay, before the next move. That concept though is no different than this being a big move and then this being consolidation. All right, I'm going to clean my charts up here, and maybe we'll take a quick look at some candlesticks. Maybe that'll, why don't we just throw them on now, actually, and see how it relates to some of these areas we were just talking about. It is a 5-minute candlestick. In the candlestick chart, I think we can get rid of this bigger ring. Help a little bit. Okay. I mean, it's all over the place. Candles. Candlestick wise, I'd be looking for a retracement back up to this right here at around 95 3/4 of the swing here from that candle, or this swing here in the order flow or price action. Okay. And then we'll see if we get a rejection back. There's another thing in here. A lot of you guys, talk about fair value gaps. Really, it is a that's kind of an invented concept from the ICT guys, or smart money concepts. It's a low volume node. I mean, that's pure Dalton and Stottlemyre, and so it's just rejection. Like in here, here's the big move on this time frame, and the consolidation. You get your B-shaped profile. Well, this up here is where it did not accept, right? So understanding that okay, there's more transactions down at the low here, and then you'd be looking for that low to break and then turn into that B-shaped profile here. On, get it back. Would kind of smooth out down here. Okay, this is as far as we got on the pullback here, and then the sellers came back in. Okay, and for those of you who love the profile stuff and the POC and all that, well, you can see it was down here. It's moved up to here just now after these big transactions. Now, you can see that developing in here, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, repeat, like, let's also talk about like what traders are going to react down here. There's going to be different time frame traders that were looking at this as kind of a mean reversion trade, or an area in here where it's like, okay, I can trade it back down to here, and I know I can cover down here. You might get also not only covering, but you might get buyers in here thinking, this is kind of a trend day, and I'm looking for the next profile to develop up here. It's a double distribution day so far, but we may get a developing one up here, and then that would be a buy down here. Okay, so you do have those guys on your side. Now, what about other traders in here? Okay, let's put together a list of traders who might be interested in buying in here. Okay, certainly those covering, okay, from the move back down, that we're trading it back from the outside back in. Okay, that's what we were covering and looking at. In fact, it's curious. It came right back down to the same level here. Anyway, now, is this low enough in here? Do we find interested buyers in here? We know on one time frame they will be. This is now the point of control. Okay, or there might be other traders that are still looking for the older one down here, because it just moved up. So this is a whole range in here. Maybe it builds out the profile in here. That's a huge value area, right? And that's a possibility. Okay, but what we have is we're slightly bullish in here for the day, and we have a stop run. We hit the point of control. Okay, we've gotten the mean reversion traders taking profits. We might have new buyers coming in. Okay, now, do we have any ideas in here to support that? Okay, well, I'd be looking for our big volume dots in here. Okay, and then I would look for I don't like seeing this liquidity right in front of us here. Okay, I imagine this is going to transact, but we got to get a lot more buying in here to get above that. And if we do up in here, then our target is 6,600. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, let's see if we get back up above here. And see how thin it's traded up here, thinly it's traded up here. This is where we need to have those buyers come back in, and they're starting to. Okay, we got to get back up above this though. Okay, so this is what we were talking about earlier. After this flush through, is that enough from the inside out trade? Okay, so now we need to see that's why we need to see the aggressors here. They need to move it up to here, and it's thinly traded. Okay, so we need buyers interested in moving it. Okay, then we're looking for the move up into here. Okay, now what else do we have at our wind, or our at our backs here? We do have some liquidity filled along the way. It's not a whole lot. Okay, that passive accumulation. These guys down here never transacted, did they? Okay, looks like they did. Okay, and there's our stop run. Okay, so here's our transactions into this 92 liquidity here, which is it's not much, 171. Okay, here look at 595 contracts there. Okay, they're both pulled at the same time. Okay, what does that tell you? How do you put these pieces together? Very, very high liquidity here, lower liquidity down here, but it fills. This higher liquidity up here on the offer never filled. To me, that looks like a spoof. And it's very short term as well. Actually, no, it's spoofing like activity. But there were some transactions in here, so you can't say it's a spoof. They put the risk on and they didn't pull. Some transacted in there. Okay. However, it's looking pretty good to get this to trigger a bunch of stops, move it down into this area in here, accumulate on the bid, and then get back up above 94. Here's what we want to get back up above. And we want to get back up above on some size. And you start to see that unfold here. Okay, so now let's see if they get that continuation move. Okay, you can see it just kind of petered out up here again. Okay, we just don't have enough. We just don't have enough buyers yet. Okay, so this is another, this move here, this one here is very similar to this one here. It is a breakout, but it failed. Okay, we were looking for it to work, and we're looking at, you know, the stop run in here, the big transactions, these buyers from the point of control in here, the covering at least for sure, and now we got another retest in here. Okay, so now this is where we're going to get our answer. Are they really buying? Are they, you know, starting to accumulate again here, either aggressively or passively? Okay, so I see some on the bid here. Now let's see if the sellers take it. Yeah, I see some aggressive buyers here. Okay, all right, so sellers do take some of that. No, I'm not, Marius, I'm not using footprint. Oh, James, you saw that 600 liquidity there. Yep, nice. The footprint is basically, you know, it's going to show a bar like this candlestick here, and it's going to show you the actual numbers and the transactions. Now, we do have a footprint chart in Bookmap. So it's with the Global Plus subscription. I'm not a big fan of it, just because I really like looking at the dots and the speed of moves here. Okay, like we talked about the angle of the move, as well as the little nuances in the order flow. The footprint bars in here doesn't show that. I mean, they'll show very precisely the aggregation of the volume or the transactions of the aggressors, but they won't show some of the nuances in the price action because it's aggregated within that bar. Okay. All right, European close is coming up, so we're going to get a little bit of wild move in here as people kind of close for the week over in Europe. Okay, we got one more tap here to the downside, and yeah, let's see. Maybe the target is this next point of control down here. Not bad. I really like it. This could be the move we were kind of looking for, to be honest. We were looking for it on this time frame for it to come back down here. Okay, so here, let me draw it up. It's getting a little messy here. So I was looking for it here. I thought we'd get this, you know, this up in here, and then this move back down here, and then lots of volume down in here, and then come right back up and do this. Okay. Instead, what we're getting is we got this pretty big move up in here, and then now we may get the move back down into this. So it's basically doing both sides, and then I'm really curious to see what happens down here. Okay, because look at the swings here. This whole area in here is going to be really nice. I don't see much liquidity in there, but there's going to be a lot of stops triggered in there. Okay, because that means this entire session here, all of this buying in here, if they haven't taken profits, they'll be taking their stops. There is something I do like about the footprint chart, Marius. In fact, I'll bring it up here. We'll put it up on the chart. And I really like looking at the delta. And it'll be down here. Okay. Now, then I like looking at the dots in the price action, like I was saying. Okay, so here's our footprint chart. This is a 5-minute footprint chart, I believe. On a minute, let me double check on that. Okay, no, it's not. You can put it has the vertical scaling in here. So I'm going to take that off. And we'll on 5 minutes. Okay. And where's our delta? Show our delta, please. It's still loading here. Okay. All right. So now we can look at and we can kind of zoom out a little bit, and then you see the key here as well. Okay, delta, sum of bid, sum of ask, and we look for this kind of flow and shift and change. Okay, negative delta, negative, negative, positive. Okay, negative, slightly negative here. Okay, now if this starts to go positive in here, okay, I'd like to see a divergence in here, basically. I mean, there's so many ways to look at this. I mean, heck, we can just look at our CVD and look for that divergence. Okay, as you can see, the delta is to the downside. Same idea here. Okay, but you know what's nice about the footprint are the actual numbers, and you can start to see that unfold here. Okay, so this is pretty choppy in here with, you know, okay, big move to the downside in here with the 1300, and then 500, then 800. Okay, that was point of control, and that's why we got the bounce here. That's why it's been a little choppy here. Okay, and it's still negative here, still negative, but a lot less though, right? So we look for that to start to go positive. Okay, and that would coincide with our idea of getting back up above here on some buy volume. Okay, and you don't have to have the footprint part on here. You can just have the delta, which I like very much. So let's just not show it. Show text and footprint type. That's it. No, still have our shading here. None. There we go. Okay. Now, see, it's negative again. All right, so likely a move to the next point of control down here, sell off, and we look for that scenario of building back up in here. Okay, this is what Stedelmeyer refers to as, I think, negative development. Is that right? I got my terminology right. It's been a while. But you're looking for development down in this area in here. We had kind of made that square earlier, but this is it in here. Okay, I really like the point of control. Maybe the low of the day here, or the of the cash, the low of the cash sessions down here, 85. Okay. Anyway, some of that development down here, and see if we can get then. We'll see if those buyers do come back in. Okay, our delta for this 5-minute period is still, it's going even more negative here. So look for the break here, and previous point of control, which may turn into the point of control. All the way back down to this swing here, or the liquidity down here at 85. Okay, riding the delta here. There we go. All right, so previous point of control. We're going to find some buyers in here, some covering, and likely move at least back up here to around 91. No, we're not going to get it. All right, we're going to get the continuation. Okay. All right, now we're getting it. Okay, so we didn't quite come down to the bottom of this range here. Okay, now let's see if we get those buyers here right back to this liquidity here, which aligns with the point of control. Okay, at this 90.5 here, got to find our buyers for this idea to unfold. And it looks pretty good. And let's see the squeeze again here. All right, buyers, 91. And let's see it squeeze up to that 92.5, 93. All right, guys. Well, I'm trying to keep this simple. Uh, it's just it sounds complex, perhaps, but basically it's understanding the behavior at some of these areas in here. It's understanding the traders behind it. It's not just looking at a candlestick and like a candlestick pattern. It's understanding why the candlestick pattern unfolds, and then what's behind it. Okay, because one candlestick pattern, like this doji in here, or whatever it might be, there could be all sorts of order flow behind it, and there can be so many different scenarios behind it, and that's what we want to dig into and understand is what's behind it. And that will offer an edge. Okay, then it's up to you, like I was mentioning, come to that pilot program and study it. This is where the rubber is going to meet the road. In here is where you'll start to understand through back testing, through building experience. It's like going to the gym, doing reps again and again, and then seeing it, using that replay mode, and then understanding it. And then if it unfolds, and you traded it in replay mode, and then you captured in your trading journal, then trade it again. Try to get better at it. Rewind it one more time. Build another rep. Okay, if you do that in a very short period, you're going to be an expert at it. You're going to be able to see it very intuitively and instantaneously. All right, Alois, let's see. Looking for that 85. Okay, initial balance low. Yeah, it might unfold. I don't know. This is starting to look pretty good. And you can see, look at the profile in here. So this is kind of the edge in here, right, where it really starts to taper off from there. So yeah, it may. I mean, there's still, looking at the delta in here, there's still quite a bit of selling in here. So it may roll over right now. Let's see if we get our sellers at 90 here, because I was looking for the move back up into here. If we get our sellers in here again, I'd look for it to come straight back down to the low here, around this 87 3/4, and then 85 is just below it here. So that's a good one. One thing we know is we don't know. No, that repeat, like, boy, that's what the one thing we should know is one thing. So know your setup. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen all the time. And that's where you get into the casino analogy, that overused analogy. Like, be the house, not the gambler, where the house knows. They know that they don't know what the next event is going to be, but they know over 1,000 events that they will have an edge. And that's one simple game that they're playing. Like, if it's roulette, if it's, I mean, that's an easy one to understand the edge. Depending on if they have, like, 0 and 00. If they have the 00, okay, it's even a better edge for the house. Okay, but that's how tiny their edge is. Anyway, yeah, I think you get the idea that if you know that one game really well and you do have an edge with that one game, then you just keep on trading it, and you know it well. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, okay, for that one event, but on the overall, you should know. If you don't, I don't think we have any business trading. Anyway, and that's exactly what this is about right here. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to do, is build that real edge. So we do know one thing, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to beat you up, repeat at all. We don't know, like, yeah, this is like randomness. Could do this, could do that, whatever. But we start to understand the behavior of people at certain areas. That's a little more, predictable. But then we need to put it into practice on the overall. Okay, so what is it? What kind of setup are you looking for? And then what do you know? Start with that. Because we don't know anything, but can we know one thing? And then just get really good at that one thing. Understand that process, and then you can start to know another thing, and get really good at that one. It's not easy, absolutely. I mean, it takes tremendous work, and a lot of confusion along the way. And that's what we're trying to do in here, is like, we take that one simple setup and we take everything off the chart, everything. Okay, and you don't look at all the stop runs and all these things in here and try to understand this or that behavior. You're just looking for this one event, from and reversal from passive accumulation to a structural break to aggressive accumulation. And the more and more we look at that, and that's going to happen for any reversal, I pretty much think. I mean, there's going to be reversals that take place maybe because of some geopolitical event or something, but like, technically, it takes that. It just has to be. It has to be accumulation. Like, passively here, that there's no more selling in here, and there's been buying or covering on the bid, and then like maybe we get some consolidation, then we get a trend or a structure break, and then you get buyers, okay? And then they will be targeting those passive orders on the other side. Anyway, I think you all get my drift, where I'm coming from. Let's wrap it up, everybody. It's been a good week, and we've got we're gonna have some fireworks next week for sure. It is the quarterly FOMC is going to be with the dots and everything. So that is the most complex event in the market, and there's going to be all sorts of traders on different time frames, and different events within a couple hour period. So you think maybe you got it one way, and then there's the press conference, and then Powell says something else and it goes the other way. Okay, so it's going to be, anticipate that. So that's likely. That's the most likely scenario. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Pete, for the comments in there. And it was good to go over some of these things for you guys. And yeah, let's reconvene on Monday. We'll see you then. Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend. Take care.